I know this is stupid too, but it's slightly less stupid. In my opinion, it's slightly... Some of these are old. I really need to build more boosters. Okay. How much thrust is on you? That's full on. And then all 4 of these go at the same time. Let's just test this. Let's see what happens. I mean, you know, I might just want to... I've already fiddled around with this so much, I probably would have been better off just building something from scratch, but what we'll do is just do that. Ugh, okay. Let's see what happens. What's the worst that can happen? Okay, what is going on with these boosters? Are they all the same? Yeah, they look like they're the same. They don't go together, though. Just want to increase the thrust to weight just a little bit on launch. That looks good. All right, let's test this thing. I think it might be... I think it might go really badly. What is going on here? That's a Valiant engine in there. Where's that Valiant engine in all of this? Booster. There's the Valiant, so that needs to go here. Okay, that's making a little more sense. Might be able to get away with just taking that stage out. Let's see. Let's find out what happens. It might fly, it might not fly. I got me a feeling well, we'll see. I might be shocked and this thing might fly just fine, but really what I think I should be doing is just building something. Building something from scratch rather than being always reusing these things. Sometimes you spend more time trying to make something old work than you are just building something new. Well, step 1's good. It ain't a pretty one. So here we are. We're in the crash simulator, as you can see. We got. I still really like this simulated exhaust. I think that's really cute. And we're going into an orbit with a 6-degree inclination, hence why the heading is 83 degrees. I don't think I have any smart parts on this boost. No, this is such an old booster. Why am I using this? So, to make sure to stage that. There's so many stages too. It's going to use these, and then there's a Bobcat down here, and then there's a Valiant here for an upper stage, and then this thing will probably still go before we're finally in orbit. Amazingly, it's kind of holding together. I'm a little bit shocked it isn't kind of a wonky mess. Okay, I gotta get ready to stage those boosters. There it goes. Alright, and now it's on this Bobcat engine that is at full thrust, so a little low on the thrust, I think. We'll see how it goes. Keep track of what our apoapsis is. Ricky asks, can you calculate routes on this simulator mod? I'm not 100% sure what you mean by routes. You mean can you put nodes on, and you can do an entire mission on simulation if you want. It's just the more time you spend with it, the more it's costing you. You can see the cost clicking up here. So you can be in the simulation as long as you want to be, as long as you got money to spend. So yeah, you could test out an entire mission. Okay, I gotta get ready to stage again. This is a dumb thing. I can build something better than this. I keep saying that, but I know if it works, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to use this if this works. It's underpowered down here for sure. It should have needed more thrust lower on. Right now, you can see the prograde vector falling. Are we getting close to apoapsis? We're not. Should be good. Okay, got to get ready to stage. Oh, it staged that one by itself. Not sure why. Okay, that's interesting. Now it's on the Valiant engine, which is I like these restock engines that get added in. I think they're really, really nice. Oh, I should also get ready to deploy this, because I didn't attach that to an action group, did I? Oh, what? Are we at 80? No. Why did it stop? Aborted. Okay, we're done. We're done. So, just to explain what just happened here, we can let this go. The script aborted the program because it didn't like the trajectory it was on compared to where it should have been on, and that's likely because the thrust low down was too... didn't like it. So, that's it. That booster's stupid. It's a stupid booster. It's a stupid booster. Okay, we're going to get rid of this whole stupid booster. This was a dumb idea. We're building something from scratch. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put in... Sorry for wasting people's time with that, but I am going to do something, I think, what will be more sound. We're going to do that. We're going to use a 1.875 meter fairing to just kind of clean this up a little bit. You know what? Why not come around everything here? Close all this in. Why not indeed? Clean this up. And we'll come in here and close that. So that is a little cleaner. And what is my largest? No, you know what? Let's get a transition part to 2.5 meters. Like you? Oh, yes, like you, exactly. Still don't have a lot of 2.5 meter tanks. So we're going to do something like that. And then we have the skipper. Again, why I have two of them, I'm not sure. They are the same. Okay, I don't know. All right, so we're going to build something better. That's still a crazy thrust to weight ratio. This thing can go bigger. I can go bigger. I can go much bigger. Definitely one of the things I'm planning is to build, that's too big. Yeah. Okay, I can't go much bigger. That's okay. 1.92, 3,000. Boy, it's not going to need much past this. Just thinking. What are you... Actually, jeepers, I think... No, I think I'm going to make a single stage. I think I'm going to make this just one stage like this. I think this is going to be fine. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with this. In fact, this is even a little bit too much. See, keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid. I think this should do it. I'm going to turn the thrust down here a little bit. Give me a launch thrust of about 1.33. See, I'm spending less time doing this than I was fiddling with trying to make something old and stupid work. Let's change these tank colors. I can convince myself I have one of these orange tanks. Just a whole lot of these little ones instead. There we go. Make that orange. We're all orange. We're orange all the way. All the way, man. Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay. And I'm going to put this on a little boat tail on there. Can I put an orange boat tail on there? Yes, you can. All right. What do I got? I think what I need are some reaction wheels just in here. I think that would help tremendously. Right in there, some reaction wheels. Now I got to rebuild that fairing, which I'll do in just a second. And I think this is all gimbaled up, right? Oh yeah, that has gimbaling. I think, really, just a little bit just to get a little bit of drag happening down there at the bottom. We'll recolor these. There we go. Okay, let's rebuild that fairing. It's going to be much better, much better. Much better. Okay. Let's get rid of the checklist. I think that's okay. Checklist there. Okay, launch clamps. Launch clamps. Launch clamps. All right. Okay, let's check that. A little bit more thrust. Just a little bit. This thing's going to be fine. Oh, look at that. It is very orange. When that stages, I want that fairing to stage. We'll put this on, again, 6 pieces, clamshell deploy. A little bit of force on it. Boom, boom, boom. That rocket should come on at the same time as all of those, and then this will sort out later. Take it off of ammo. Yep. All right. I don't know. Now it's looking a little bit on the stupid side, isn't it? Isn't it a little bit too? Maybe black and white just for some of it. It was just too orange. Okay. Let's think. Okay, I want to get into action groups. That's what I want to get into. So, on action group number 5 is going to be this fairing. Deploy. On action group 0 we'll just deploy these ones. Extend those solar panels. That will happen when we get into space. Lights will come on automatically. I don't think there's... Oh, wait, and antennas. We will also deploy this antenna. There isn't one on the other side, no. Oh, somebody was mentioning torque. I think the torque should be... Torque's small. Torque will be fine. This might be a little wobbly. It's pretty tall. We'll see. I might get some struts in there. Never hurts to put in a couple of struts. Could also do some auto strutting, but I'm thinking just strutting should probably do the trick. Put you on 3-way symmetry and just do that. Just that joint I don't like. Okay. I need a smart part to handle the staging. I'm looking for the Drain X. There it is. So this one we'll be looking for. I only need one of them. There's liquid fuel in there. Yep. So when that runs out of liquid fuel, it's going to stage, and that will start the next stage. There we go. Isn't that simple? Let's test this one. Let's test this one. Okay, test launch again. So running launch, spelling launch right always helps. 6-degree inclination, 80-kilometer orbit. Boom. Might be wobbly. That's the one thing I'm a little concerned with. We'll see. We're off. All right. So far, so good. Let's see when it starts that gravity turn, if it starts to get wonky. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. It's going for a lunch. Somebody's... We are lunching. All right. You know what? Like, I gotta stop. I got the engines now. I want to start unlocking better engines, better tanks soon. But I do have it that like the less stages you have, the less chances of things going wrong. So this will be just a 2-stage ascent now. It's going to be on this, and then the actual little Terrier engine that's on the main probe will be handling the very last part. That's the way it should work anyway, all in theory. But so far, it's doing really nice. It's tracking that prograde vector very, very nicely, which means that the script will be happy with the trajectory it's on. It is a lot of fairing, though, I'll say that. Okay, and yeah. Just knock the thrust back. And that's just to keep the time to apoapsis reasonably close by. It's not really looking at the time to apoapsis. It's just kind of arbitrarily knocking it to something I set, which is a thrust to weight ratio of 1.1. But it makes the ascents seem more... The ascents are more efficient if you could reduce the thrust towards the top part. I could make it a little bit smarter, but that takes more programming. All right, and wow, this is doing pretty good. I'm wondering if it's going to get all the way, like there's still 1,000 meters per second on this stage. And I'm thinking it might get all the way to its 80 kilometers, which is not that good because, oh well, we'll see. That wasn't the plan. It's just doing such a good job ascending. We're up to almost 1,600 meters per second. Like, that's closing in on orbital velocities. Oh. Why did it do that? Oh, I put the wrong fairing on there. Deploy that one too. Okay, I got a bit of a staging mishap there. That was okay. I put the wrong fairing on the action group. At least they both staged cleanly. Okay, I want to knock off maybe about 500 or 600 meters per second from that lower stage because I want this stage to be gone by the time it gets to this point. Because the circularization part of this might even mess up the program. Because it's going to need to... Well, I don't know. You know what? I might just live with it. Why not just live with it? Yeah, it's going to be able to do... Okay, it's doing everything just on this stage. That's okay. It doesn't hurt to have more, right? So yeah, I got 348 meters per second left. There's 417 meters per second left in this stage. I might as well just... Okay, that's it. We're doing it. I'm not adjusting a thing. I'm doing it. Terminate simulation. I got to fix the one action group and that's it. The only thing I needed to fix was to put... I have to put both sets of fairings. Miss that this fairing needs to be deployed too. There we go. I think this is good. All right, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. We're launching right now. Let's go. Yes, I am so sure. Rob DeVos says no, just one ignition on the Terrier. I don't think so. Okay. Oh, shoot. Okay, I have to recover this. Thank you. There's only one ignition on this stupid skipper engine. Okay, so let's recover. This isn't a disaster. I'm not going to revert. We'll actually recover. Actually, reverting flight's the same as recovering at this point. Let's just revert back. Thank you, PX Delta and Rob DeVos were both noticing. There's just a single ignition on this skipper engine, so we're going to upgrade it to high. So now it has a whole 2 ignitions. Now that does increase the... Oh, it's still okay. It increases the cost. It increases the mass a little bit, but it's still fine. Okay, we're gonna try it again. So there was a very good chance that skipper would not have ignited when it went to do the circularization burn. Okay, not a disaster though. Now, Ooh, wow. I got lots of communication lines here. We're obviously going to Minmus, and what I've been doing the last time I went to Minmus is I ended up playing around with the orbits like this. You want to launch at either the ascending or the descending node when the KSC is underneath it. And then somebody in on a YouTube comment on one of my videos said, you know what you can do is you can just set Minmus as a target, and then you can have, I have it set up here, Kerbal Engineer tell you the time to the equatorial. That's not right. Okay, I still got to set up. Sorry. Let me set this up. I'm going to put it up in the second node here. It's good for people to see this anyway. If I go to the rendezvous section, we have time to the relative ascending node and time to the relative descending node. We'll install both of those. And in fact, what I think I might just do is also put a separator in there. That's under miscellaneous, just to separate these sections. Separator there, and then we'll move that separator up. There we go. That's wrong. There we go. Close that. Close that. Okay, so now what I have is Kerbal Engineer telling me I'm 5 minutes and 20 seconds from the relative ascending node with Minmus's orbit. So that tells me that in 5 minutes and 14 seconds, the KSC will be right underneath. That doesn't feel right. That feels like the relative descending node. Am I missing something? Oh, I have the... Oh my god, I put the wrong thing in there. Sorry, just a second. Back to rendezvous. Time to relative descending node. I have an angle in here that I don't care about. I know the Minmus. It's still saying the AN. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? When that is clearly the descending node. Either way, 4 minutes and 27 seconds seems about right. Let's time warp a little bit. Rather than eyeballing it all the time. Now, I'm actually going to stop a few minutes early because it takes a few minutes to get up into orbit. And I think that will match better. That does look right. We're trusting it, but it's definitely the descending node, not the ascending node. So I'm not sure. I don't know what these little L's mean. Whatever. We're going to go towards the south. So we're going to run our launch script into a -6 degree inclination, 80 degree altitude. Let's go. Off we go. All right, so, well, this thing, yeah, this thing is overbuilt for the probe because I actually designed this middle stage here to actually deal with some of the ascent. But you know what? That's not necessarily a bad thing, is it? Be overbuilt. No, it is not. All right. And looking at the stream, we'll get this going. We'll send this off to Minmus, and then obviously we'll probably be doing with the there we go. I'm going to replace the tongue with a new tongue and say we will probably be dealing with the landings next week. But hopefully all of this work was worthwhile. And I got a new booster that I think looks okay. I'm curious now about this time to relative ascending node and time to relative descending node, because it says one's 3 minutes and one's 6.5 minutes. I don't know how those can be so different. You know, they should be on opposite sides of the orbit. Well, maybe because our orbital, I don't know, because we're not really in an, it must be confused. Hopefully this will make sense once we're in an orbit, but we should be okay. We'll see. We'll see. Alright, so again, it nerfs the thrust here a little bit. Which really did improve the efficiency. It got up a lot easier than I thought it would. You know, the bigger rockets actually are more efficient because they're better at just plowing their way through the atmosphere. It seems, I mean, they use a ton more fuel, but by more efficient, I mean when you look at the delta V, they use less delta V to get into orbit than the smaller rockets do because the atmosphere affects their mass less. I'm hoping that makes some sense. Alright, at 50 we should be losing all of these fairings at 50 kilometers. There they go. Nicey nice. I got the question No Mercy asked, is this set for Kerbin or Minmus's AN and DN? And these are the relative ANs and DNs, ascending nodes and descending nodes, for the target. So as soon as I select Minmus as a target, these should be where the ascending nodes and descending nodes are for Minmus. Over here, I have the actual time to the equatorial ascending and descending node for the orbit in which I'm inserting myself about Kerbin. So this is different than this. Okay, we have hit our target of 80 kilometers. We are almost out of the atmosphere. Here we can time warp a little bit. Okay, and there we go. Everything's deploying and lighting up, and it's getting itself set to do the circularization burn. 346 meters per second, still 388 left in this stage. So it's using up pretty much all of this, but that is perfectly fine. I was worried when I did the simulation that I was actually going to be staging in the middle of this burn, and I know my launch script wouldn't be able to handle that. So I'm glad that didn't happen. If that did happen, I might have to go back and do a bit of a redesign. Oh, 30 seconds to the burn. It's actually going to start the burn before KSP thinks it should start the burn because it's not going to go to full thrust. Because right now the TWR on that skipper engine is 4.19. It doesn't want to do that. Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. You can see how low it has the thrust here for this part. You don't need a lot of thrust. See a lot of thrust at the beginning. Now, actually, this thing probably is collecting science already. I'm just thinking about that. It is not. Isn't there a... Oh, maybe I need to be in an orbit or something? Or maybe it's transmitting it as quickly as it's collecting it, because there should be... Oh, I don't have it on. Let's turn on... Where are you? The gravity scan. There we go. Turn on a radiation scan. Also turn this stuff all on. The telemetry report, I must have turned them all off at some point. The seismic scan, doesn't matter, right? Net temperature scan. But I mean, the gravity scan, it should definitely be collecting gravity scan because that's a brand new chunk of science. Okay, we are in our orbit. And... Oh, of course these would get messed up because it was matching the inclination with Minmus. And that always messes up where the AN and DNs are. That makes perfect sense. So it seemed to have put itself into an orbit that's matching Minmus's plane. So I think it's fine. Okay, let's get out there. Let's get out there. So we'll just type in here about 920 meters per second or thereabouts. And we'll tweak the timing just a little bit. It's making it further. Alright. Zoom in on Minmus here. Minmus with our lovely... Oh, look at that. This is the orbit it wants. So it wants us to insert into this orbit. Notice how close that is to my relay orbit. I never realized that my relay orbit so close to a synchronous orbit about Minmus. That's interesting, but interesting or not, what I really should be thinking about is bringing this in here. Whoops. Need a little bit more prograde. So I'm a little bit to the north, but not a bad insertion, all things considered. So I just need to have this periapsis just above here. But obviously it will never burn it this precisely anyway. So why am I being this picky about it? I don't know. I shouldn't be. There, that's good enough. All right, let's get ready for that burn. So that burn is coming up in 23 minutes. So let's get to it. Must have. Oh, and I don't need that right now. I'm going to do this burn manually. Oh, let's tweak this. I want that thrust limiter much lower. That's better. Again, my script can't handle the staging event. So we're going to do this manually. Oh, can I ignite this engine again? That's a very good point. It might not ignite. It's down to 0 ignitions, but there's only 41 meters per second left in it. So if it doesn't ignite, it doesn't ignite. It's hardly a disaster if it doesn't ignite. We'll just stage right away and go right to the next engine. But that's a very good point. It's not a guaranteed this number of ignitions. It's a probability thing. The closer you are to 0, the more likely you'll get a failure. And it lit. So lucky me. And there we go. We're on to the next one. That smart part handled that. Nicey nice. We are off. Not a bad looking thing, I think. Oh, we can physics warp. Let's physics warp. Whoa. There is a lot of there are too many reaction wheels on this thing. It's hard to keep it. The control is really wonky. Okay, let's take that off. This might not be the best of insertions. We'll keep an eye on it here. Of course, we'll do a correction, so if this doesn't quite work, it's not like it's a big deal. Whoa, slow down. Here it comes. Oh, that ain't bad. That ain't bad. We'll live with that. Okay, I do have one last... Okay, here. Yep. I just remembered I do have a KOS script that's... Remember, I made this KOS script for aligning, and I can run my alignment script, align, and if I put in D, that stands for dorsal, and that should align this thing if I put the solar panels on correctly. So look at that, see? So that the solar panels are perpendicular to the galactic plane, or the ecliptic, I guess is really what this is. So that they'll have nice solar exposure all the way around. Let's set up that correction.